80% of motorcycle engines that die early weren't killed by bad oil. They were killed in the first 60 seconds after an oil change. Most riders don't know this. But every time you change oil, your engine is at its most vulnerable. Dry metal contact, air pockets, forgotten torque. One tiny mistake can destroy more than 10,000 miles of riding. Here are 10 things you must do after every motorcycle oil change. I've seen engines hit 150,000 miles with these habits, and others seize at 15,000 without them. Let's get started. Inspect the drain bolt and crush washer. Most riders drain their oil, screw the bolt back in, and move on. Wrong move. That little crush washer under the drain bolt, usually aluminum or copper, is designed to deform once. Reusing it means it might not seal again. I've seen engines drip oil every few hundred miles because someone thought that old washer looked fine. Always inspect the drain bolt threads for metal shavings or sludge. If you see glitter, something's wearing inside your engine, clutch plates, transmission gears, or bearings. Replace that washer every single time. If the bolt head looks rounded or stripped, replace it too. Over-tighten it, and you can strip your crankcase threads. And that's a $400 repair for a 2-minute mistake. Once you tighten it, snug, not gorilla tight. Wipe the area clean, start the bike, and let it idle for 30 seconds. Then grab a flashlight and check underneath for fresh drips. If you spot one, shut it off immediately and recheck your torque. Never assume it'll seal itself, because it won't. That 50-cent washer's your engine's first line of defense. Skip it, and you're one ride away from a puddle under your bike and a seized motor. Think of this as your post-surgery check. Your bike just had an oil transfusion. Now it's time to make sure nothing's bleeding. Check the oil filter seal and prime. Every motorcycle oil filter has a rubber gasket. That tiny ring is the only thing keeping your oil system sealed under pressure. Most riders make the same mistake. They install it dry. A dry gasket sticks, twists, and sometimes tears. And that leads to a blowout under pressure. Here's the right way. Before installing, dip your finger into the fresh oil and lightly coat the gasket. That thin film ensures a smooth seal and prevents tearing. And before you spin the new filter on, check that the old gasket came off with the old filter. Can't count how many oil leaks were caused by double gasket disasters. Once you're sure, hand tighten. No wrench. Crushing that gasket with a wrench almost guarantees a leak. Hand snug, half turn more. Done. I once had a rider come into the shop panicking after a DIY oil change. Smoke's pouring from my bike. Did I blow the motor? Burnt oil smell hit me before I even saw it. The culprit. 2 gaskets. The old one stuck, the new one stacked. Oil sprayed all over the hot exhaust headers. He was lucky he didn't set the bike on fire. So always confirm your gasket, prime it, and take your time. This tiny ritual separates riders who maintain from riders who guess. The 30-second rule. When you fire up your motorcycle after an oil change, don't rev it. That urge to hear it run can cost you an engine. During those first seconds, the oil pump is still filling passages and purging air pockets. Revving it spins metal before there's a full film of oil between parts. Instead, let the bike idle for 30 seconds. Watch your oil light. It should go out quickly. Use that half-minute to listen. Any unusual ticking or knocking? Look under the bike for leaks again. Then shut it down. Wait a few minutes and recheck the oil level through the sight glass. When the filter fills up, your level will drop slightly. Top it off if needed. Skip this step, and you risk a dry start. The silent killer of bearings and camshafts. I've torn apart bikes with perfect maintenance records, only to find scored journals because the rider loved to blip the throttle after every oil change. Don't be that rider. Patience now saves metal later. Inspect the crankcase breather, or PCV system. Most riders don't even know their bike has one, but this little valve decides how long your oil stays clean. The crankcase breather, or PCV valve on some bikes, controls pressure inside your engine. If it's clogged, moisture and fuel vapors stay trapped, turning your oil into acidic sludge. Take it off. Give it a shake. If it rattles freely, you're good. If it's sticky or blocked, replace it. It's usually under 15. A clogged breather can cause gasket leaks, foamy oil, or that milky residue under your filler cap. I've opened engines that looked like chocolate pudding inside, not from neglect, but from a clogged breather system. Your bike breathes through that valve. If it can't exhale, everything inside suffocates. Check it every other oil change. It's 5 minutes that could save you a full rebuild. Check for leaks. Around the valve cover and filler cap, not every oil leak ends up on the ground. Some drip onto hot exhausts or engine casings and burn away before you ever see them. After an oil change, take a flashlight and inspect around the valve cover, filler cap, and side case. If anything feels slick, you've got a slow leak starting. Oil that seeps onto a hot exhaust can cause smoke, melted wiring, or even fire. And don't forget to wipe away any spills. I've seen riders cook gaskets to death because a few drops of oil baked under the fairing. A quick wipe down after every oil change is the cheapest insurance you can buy. 6. Record your oil change and reset the maintenance indicator. If your motorcycle has a service reminder, reset it. But don't stop there. Keep real notes. Write down your mileage and date after every oil change. Why? Because patterns tell the truth. If your oil darkens faster than usual or the level drops quicker, you might be dealing with blow-by or a leaking seal. When you sell your bike, a handwritten or digital maintenance log adds real value. Proof that the engine's been loved. Take a quick photo of your sight glass after a few rides. If it darkens rapidly, it's a sign of contamination. Catch issues early before they snowball. Use the right oil for how you. Right oil isn't one size fits all. Just because the manual says 10W40 doesn't mean that's always ideal. If you mostly do short city rides, your oil barely warms up before shutdown. That means condensation and sludge. Use a synthetic blend with good detergent properties to clean and protect during those short heat cycles. If you're touring, riding long distances, or pushing your engine hard in heat, go full synthetic. It resists thermal breakdown far better and maintains viscosity under stress. And here's a motorcycle-specific warning. Don't use car oil. Car oils often contain friction modifiers that destroy wet clutches. Use Jasso MA or MA2 rated oil only. Your clutch. Plates will thank you. I've seen riders cheap out on car oil and wonder why their clutch starts slipping a week later. Spend $10 more now. Save $500 in clutch replacements later. Flush out carbon and sludge. Before it hardens, every few oil changes, give your engine a gentle flush before draining. Motorcycle engines rev high and run hot. Perfect conditions for carbon buildup. Use a mild detergent-based flush product and let the engine idle for 10 minutes before draining the old oil. Don't rev it. Don't ride it. Just let the cleaner circulate. When you drain it, you'll see darker, thinner oil. That's good. It means it's pulling out the grime. Once it's out, change the filter immediately and refill with fresh oil. Never ride with flush. Chemicals still inside. They thin oil pressure and can damage bearings. I once opened a 600cc sport bike, engine that had skipped flushes for years. From the outside, it looked fine. Inside, the piston rings were glued in place with carbon. Compression dropped, oil use skyrocketed, and the fix cost nearly $2,000. Flushing every few changes prevents that fate. It's 10 quiet minutes that double your engine's lifespan. Check the level twice. Not once. This one sounds simple, but it's where most riders mess up. Fill the oil, check the sight glass, and ride off proud. Wrong. Oil doesn't fill the filter and passages instantly. Your first reading is temporary, the right method. Fill to the upper mark. Start the bike. Let it idle for 30 seconds. Shut it down and wait 5 minutes. Then check again. That's your true level. Topping off before the oil settles means you'll overfill. And that's dangerous. Too little oil starves the bearings. Too much oil whips into foam, which can collapse under pressure. Air doesn't lubricate. Overfilled bikes often blow oil into the airbox through the breather. That's messy, smoky, and deadly for your filter. Precision is key. On most bikes, even half a cup too much is too much. 10. Take a gentle 10-minute ride. Your oil change isn't done until you ride. Not a rev, not a burnout. A gentle, calm, 10-minute ride. Here's why. New oil needs motion and heat to flow into every passage, coat every gear, and seat every seal. That short ride circulates oil evenly and helps expand gaskets to their operating size. After the ride, park it, let it cool, and recheck for leaks or drops in level. I once compared two identical bikes, same model, same oil, same care. One owner always rode for 10 minutes post-change. The other didn't. At 100,000 miles, one engine looked factory new. The other had dry scoring on the cams and caked varnish around the pistons. Same maintenance. One missing habit. Oil doesn't protect until it moves, so give it that 10 peaceful minutes. Listen to your bike. Feel the smoothness. That's the sound of metal thanking you. If you learned even one new thing today, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment with your biggest oil change mistake or secret ritual.